Hey, what's going on everybody? Ray from Roll Jump Media here. E3 is only days away, so before I get nose deep into all the impending news that is bound to come out of the event, I thought I'd put my E3 dreams out there. Discovering what everyone else wants out of E3 brings me joy as well, so feel free to share in the comments. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Splinter Cell is one of those games that I should absolutely adore, but I was never able to immerse myself in them for one reason or another. The big reason why was because Splinter Cell Conviction never released on the PS3, and by the time Blacklist came out, the game only had a couple of months before it was overshadowed by the release of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. I'm not a big fan of the incessant shooting present in The Division, however, the game mechanics present in the recently announced Ghost Recon appeal much more to my sensibilities. Now that I think about it, it would probably be best for Ubisoft to hold off a Splinter Cell announcement for next E3. The stealth elements in Ghost Recon would tide those over who are looking for a more deliberate method of play. Either way, a promising Splinter Cell entry, whether it happens this E3 or the next, would be awesome. We all know PlayStation is not going to be at E3 this year, but that does not mean they won't have a slated play sometime soon. When I think of Ghost of Tsushima, I immediately think of the developers behind the game, Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch became one of my favorite developers with the release of Infamous 2 back in 2011. That game is the epitome of an underrated gem. Sure, the platforming was a little sticky, but that was a small price to pay for excellent combat, great visuals, fluid movement, and a criminally overlooked mission creator. The story was well done too, allowing for you to make choices that were actually pretty difficult. There were very few studios that I have as much faith in as I do with Sucker Punch. Even during a time with excellent Japanese-inspired games like Sekiro and Nero, I have faith that their take on the setting will stand out. After Joker was announced for Smash during the Game Awards last December, all bets are off for what the remaining 4 characters are going to be. While I think Kid Goku would be hype, a just as exciting reveal would be Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Nintendo already worked with Square Enix to get Cloud in the game, so Sora is definitely a possibility. Sure, Disney also has ownership to the franchise, but given the popularity of Smash and its appeal to all demographics, I don't think getting Disney's approval will be an issue. Sora's moveset translates well into Smash, not to mention Kingdom Hearts has great art and music to theme a stage around. I think Sora ticks all the boxes, but we'll just have to wait till E3 to see. Ninja Theory has most recently received praise for Senua's Sacrifice, a third-person action-adventure game that tells the tale of Senua, a sword fighter struggling with psychosis. The game is short and sweet, but the Celtic theme and the dark undertones sum up to offer a compelling narrative. I grew fond of Ninja Theory with Heavenly Sword and Enslaved Odyssey to the West, both of which came out last gen. They always create a combat system that is both fulfilling, yet not too complex. In addition to that, the graphical capabilities they are able to pull out of a console is astounding. With the resources of Xbox propelling them forward, their next title is more likely than not going to blow everyone away. The original Beyond Good and Evil is an all-around good time. It has the charm of the PS2 era, great visuals for its time, and a photography and combat system that allows you to jump right back in and get comfortable. The duo of Jade and Paige is the best, and while the story isn't something I can recall off the top of my head, Ubisoft looks to be fleshing out the world of Beyond Good and Evil so players naturally care about the game's residents and the society that is built up around them. The developers have been very transparent with the game, but I am most interested in its footage that is representative of the final product. I really want this title to be brilliant. Super Mario Sunshine is arguably the happiest video game in existence. Sure, the camera is wonky and you can't long jump, but the environments, the endearing NPCs, and the amusing story add up to a gaming experience that one will remember for a lifetime. The title came out back in 2002, and to this day, I enjoy going back to it, starting a new save, and beating the game all over again. A remake of this game with the graphics and quality of life improvements of Super Mario Odyssey would be a dream come true. We already established that Sony is not going to be at E3, but I would burst into tears of joy if the franchise that is most near and dear to my heart gets some love. The Jak and Daxter franchise is masterful. The controls, the animations, the engaging story, and each game's pacing should be in a textbook. I shared my thoughts on the franchise last year during E3 2018, which you can find on roadjumpmedia.com, and my feelings about the franchise have not changed since then. Jak deserves to be brought back with at least a fresh coat of paint. Please make it happen, Sony. I also want to give an honorable mention to Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning and Parasite Eve. What are your E3 hopes and dreams? Do any of yours line up with the ones that I have listed out? Let's talk about it in the comments below, and let's have a great E3